No, your TV didn't change on your channel on you. That's just a cool intro we made for this segment. It's called Vice News. Get it? As in your vices. We haven't had it on for a while. But today, if you've noticed the calendar, it's 4/20. How could we pass that up? Apparently, our federal lawmakers couldn't pass it up either. They had to commemorate this unofficial cannabis holiday. They continue to push for reforms in the cannabis industry. Marijuana has been legal for quite a while in both Oregon and Washington, but there's still major problems the industry is trying to sort out. The biggest? Banking. Because pot is still illegal under federal law, banks regulated by the federal government, which, by the way, is all the big ones, they won't do business with cannabis shops. That means most struggle to conduct credit or debit card transactions. It also means that it creates tons of cash for them, unless they find a locally based credit union, which some are able to do, but not all. It's a big deal for the pot shop owners because the bad guys know there's a bunch of cash in the business as well. It's gotten dangerous in the past few years. Pot shops are targeted for robberies, obviously because they have cash on hand. And they can turn violent, like the case of Michael Arthur, who was killed in 2020 during a robbery at a pot shop in North Portland. Workers at shops in Washington have been hurt and killed as well. Some workers say they're scared to come into work, and owners say they're having a hard time hiring because of it. Federal lawmakers are working on a bill that could help out, but it's having a hard time getting through Congress. It's called the Safe Banking Act. It would allow the big banks to work with licensed pot shops. Lawmakers in the House are all for it. Check this out. They've passed it not once, not twice, not 3 times, 6 times they've passed it. But the Senate still says no. Some senators are looking for a more comprehensive marijuana bill. One calls for full legalization and the release of people who are behind bars because of pot charges. Today, Washington Senator Patty Murray held a press conference saying, yes, she supports those ideas, but that bill likely does not have the votes. Murray says it's time to focus on safe banking.
This is really dangerous for small business owners and workers who are just following the letter of the law. It makes absolutely no sense that legal cannabis businesses are being forced to operate entirely in cash. It is dangerous, and sometimes it's even fatal for the employees who are behind the register.
Yeah, it is a huge problem. Back here in Portland, leaders are working on the same thing. The city's Cannabis Policy Oversight Team, or CPOT, get it? Says the last few years have been tough on the cannabis industry. They want the same sort of help that other industries got.
Although 2021 was another record sales year for the Oregon cannabis industry, the cost of cascading impacts related to the ongoing pandemic, the sharp increase in burglaries and robberies, and the devastating wildfires throughout the ecosystem in Oregon made the cannabis industry vulnerable and volatile. During the triple uppercut punch of COVID, burglaries, and wildfires, the cannabis industry required the same support available to every other industry during the pandemic. However, cannabis-related businesses were excluded from receiving SBA loans, insurance, or COVID recovery grants, which is why CPOT advised Civic Life and Portland City Council that emergency support was desperately needed.
CPOT says they're working on making the industry more sustainable and urges the city and the state to adopt reforms, including safe banking and expunging the criminal records of people convicted of nonviolent cannabis crimes. And that is your Vice News.